Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, RayRoc.
Sorry.
Oh, I saw you point your finger. I thought you were like waving your hand or something like that. It's like,
No.
I got a
It pops up here.
question. I got a question.
Nah,
come
we
talk
do
to
sign
me.
language.
I'm
Sorry.
like that one kid that doesn't know the answer, but he thinks he does in the classroom. Oh,
I got it. Forgot.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
I feel like I'm getting Truman Showed now. It sounds like my entire until I got to high school, and then I pretty much went to high school to get weed. And
I didn't get into like all that campus stuff until grade 12. So I was
seriously,
I was
where I grew up, it was just a whole different animal. You know, because like we called them the old heads. It's funny because I mean they were only like 20, 21 at the time, and we were, you know, they were about 5 years older than us.
right.
We had a lot of good influences around us, you know. So they're like, "Here's a joint, smoke it, kid," or a blunt. I hated. No offense, like passing around a blunt with like 8 people. I'm sorry, I'm good on that.
Yeah,
I'm not a
really...
germaphobe by any means, but like by the time it comes around, it's all chewed up and nasty looking. I'm like, I don't need it that bad. I'll just smoke my own weed if you don't mind.
It's like everybody's taking little nibbles of it, right? It's like,
it's disgusting, man. It's so people are like, oh man, I don't even know how you could do that to it.
So Coop, grade 12. Grade 12. What age is that?
I think it was around 16 or 17.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds right. 16 or 17. I think it was I was around like 16. So that's probably
I think I was about 12 or 13 when we started. You know, we would go down to the local stream.
I could do it. I could say that 13. I might start saying that. I might be 13 forever.
see, you guys seem 13. Like you seem like you were kind of might have been part of like a cool group of people. See, for me, I was never a cool guy. I've always been like this like weird nerd that like I didn't have my friends, right? So I was like this in high school from grade 9 to 11. I got picked on a lot. I was always the quiet guy. I didn't really talk to anybody. And then one day, an old, like the very first guy I met when I went to the school and everything, he stood up for me in math class one day where he's like, "Hey man, this guy's like cool. Shouldn't be picking on him anymore." And then when that happened, it's like the whole school changed about me. It's weird. It's like nobody treated me like shit anymore. Instead, I was happy. I was part of the cool guys. I was going on morning announcements, doing that. It was awesome. So
that's funny, cause to go off of that, that's kind of what I did, because I was always neutral with everybody. You know, like my view of things was never like, oh, here's the dorks and here's the smart kids and here's the cool kids and here's the band kids and so on and so forth. You know, like. But when that bullying shit kicked in, before like it's like stop the bullying and all that, like I just never liked it. You know what I mean? There was no reason for it. And this is at a young age, you know, like grade school. It's like, I mean, obviously I'm not telling them to shut the fuck up or anything like that. Like I just have a way about it. But I guess I wouldn't consider myself a cool kid, so to say. You know, I just am. You know, and I just did my own thing. You know, like you know how like when you're growing up. You know, like, nobody likes this particular song, but they secretly really do. Like, I'm the dude, like, oh, I love that song. You know, like when Spice Girls came out with, like, To Become One or one of them songs. I'm like, fuck, I love that song. Like, you're such a pussy. I'm like, fuck you. It's a good song. I don't care. You're going to make fun of me for liking a song that you like, too, that you're just too big of a pussy to admit? Anyway, sorry.
I still sing a little Backstreet Boys.
Dude, who doesn't? What the hell is that? So I feel like singing it now. I want it that way. Look at Day. I can see the wheels turning. He's like, I'm ready to go right now.
Yeah.
We need 2 more members, though.
To be honest, Ray, my school life was kind of the same. You know, I got on with everyone. And then like the whole bullying thing,
right?
The whole bullying thing kicked off and everything, and then. So then I would like sort of make it my mission to go and fight the bullies, you know. But then the bullies liked me for doing that. So then I even got on with the bullies. So it was
exactly. That's
a win-win.
It's a chain reaction, and then the bullshit stops. I can't stand drama. Can't stand BS. It's unnecessary.
Yeah, I
or
would
it doesn't need to be.
That sometimes when like beef happens, sometimes the right thing is to like stand up and like talk to the person. Like in high school, I remember there was this one guy that wanted to like kick my ass because he thought I like made moves on his girlfriend or something like that. So then I was like freaking out because this guy's like, he was part of the Native Reserve where all those little group guys and they all like go on a gang kind of thing. And
sorry, Indigo just wrote in the chat, oh my God, one of my friends at work bought a Backstreet Boys single when I was 17. See? I'm not the only one.
All right, so where are I? Okay, yeah, I was there was this guy that wanted to kick my ass, and he threatened to like fight me and everything like at school. So I wanted to like figure. I was panicking. I was like, you know what, like this isn't right. And what I did was I went and I got a bottle of rum, and I went in the forest and I called this guy up, and I was like, dude, like what the fuck is going on with this bullshit? Like I haven't really done anything like that. And like me and this guy are talking on this phone for like 20 minutes. I'm freaking out. I was like, what the fuck did I even do? And then after that, he like respected me for calling him up, and then we became boys. So it's like that's
I think that's the funny part about dudes, you know, like we get in a fight and next thing you know you're like almost best friends, you know, after whatever happens. I guess whoever gets their ass kicked, you know, like you know what? I forget.
For me, it was never about violence. Like, it was more like me talking to people, and it was all misunderstanding stuff. So.
Yeah. I get that. No,
See, I think that them times have gone though. You know, that was the time. They were the days when there was honor in a fight. You know, like there'd be 1-on-1. Someone gets beat up, and then you go and buy him a pint or whatever afterwards. You know, whereas now the fight's over, so they go and get a knife, or they go and get 10 friends, or a gun, or whatever, you know?
Yeah, that whole jumping bullshit and get whatever, you know what?
Yeah.
That stuff is crazy. That happens a lot, probably.
Like fighting, like, absolutely sucks ass now, whereas, like, back in the day, you know, it was just something that happened, and then you all got on with it, you know, you just... Mm-hmm. You'd have a winner, a loser, and then you're both winners because you become friends.
Exactly.
Well, unless you keep losing the fight, and then every day you keep getting beat up. I'm challenging.
Well, that's more of a bullying thing.
I mean, I'm not sure who's crazy. The guy that's like the guy that starts the fight, or the guy that keeps going back and keeps losing in the fight. It's like, what do you? What are you trying to prove? You don't have pride just doing that. It's stupidity.
I hate
one of these days I'm going to
win. One of these days I'm going to kick his ass.
Let me ask you both a question. In a fight, have either of you ever thrown the first punch?
No.
Never.
There was I think I started a fight with a headbutt once.
Does that count? That's a hell of a way to start one off.
I'm not sure if I told this story. It was a Canada Day, and I think I might have already told you guys this. Where I got in a fight.
I think you did. Did you end up jumping off a bridge?
Yes, I did. Yeah, so how that happened. I think how this happened is
I'm going to headbutt you, run away, and jump off a bridge.
That's basically what happened. Yeah, so I think I've already told that story, but yeah, no, that was very similar. I can't remember what episode we talked about that, but yeah, no, I've started to play, I think, with a headbutt, not with a punch.
No one wins with a headbutt. No one.
Oh man. Well,
I got a little extra padding here, and I got a starter hat and a bandana underneath. I got a little cushion.
Well, I've certainly like taken a lot of beatings before. Like I don't remember me being one of the first people to throw a punch. It's usually them throwing the first punch, and then me actually absorbing it, and then me hitting them back. I don't know. Hey, it's like one day when I was in high school. I just remember in grade 9. No, it was grade 8. I was in a parking lot, and these classmates of mine, I guess, saw me in the parking lot, and they wanted to try and pick a fight with me. So one of them just came up to me, and they just said all this stuff about me. I was like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm not even doing it. And he just randomly hit me in the face. So he punched me in the jaw, and then I looked at him like straight. I was like, whoa. And then he started like backing off because I think he was like scared that I took a punch from him or something like that. And one of his buddies like, you should just go around. He's not having a good day. So I turned around, and then the guy tried jumping me from behind. He actually tried jumping me from behind. So what I did was I took him, I swung him off, and I threw him off of me because I have a bigger body than him.
That's what usually happens to me. I ended up getting or attempting to get sucker punched. See, I was just going to tell you, like something for you like jiu-jitsu or Muay Thai, will be cool to do because Heather and I used to do that. We took 3 different things. We did Kung Fu, Muay Thai, and jiu-jitsu. And 2 of them are disciplines where it's not so much fighting back, but it's more or less, it's not so much to hurt the other person, but you could twist them up in a pretzel real quick and embarrass them. You know what I mean? Like if they're throwing punches at you, I mean, basically you just laugh in their face the whole time. You know what I mean? But at that point, you could teach a lesson. You know what I mean? You could drop a grown man on the ground. And it doesn't matter how big or small they are or how big or small we are. You know what I mean? When you know what you're doing.
If you would like to support the Morning Glory podcast, make sure to go check out patreon.com/Coop the Comedian for behind-the-scenes exclusive content. You can also check out all my stand-up comedy on Patreon as well as Taste the Strain episodes. Patreon.com/Coop the Comedian.
Did you guys ever get in, like snowball fights in school or anything like that?
Oh, of course. What kind of childhood would you have if you didn't get in a snowball? Who doesn't love taking an ice ball to the face? Fucking assholes.
We for us there was a rival school that was right next door to us. So after school it would be our middle school against this other middle school, and there was this huge gigantic hill. And all we would do is all just have a huge snowball war after school against each other.
Did you pack 20 at a time and just rapid fire?
Yeah. Basically, we would all have our own little domes, and we'd all start at lunchtime. I think it was at lunchtime we would actually start preparing for these wars, kind of these snowball wars. We would we would get all these snowballs ready, and then after school they'd all be ready, and then we'd all just go to war against each other every time.
Yeah, and we get red ice.
Red ice.
It's all about the red ice.
Oh my god. You're a violent mofo. You know that?
No, it's my upbringing because we would have snowball fights and that, but with rivals and stuff like that. But when it came to rival schools, it was a case of on a Friday night, during the summer, you'd all be drinking on street corners or whatever, and then there'd be 30 people, 30 from your school and 30 from another school, and you just get into a big brawl, and then what happens is the other school starts bringing the dads and stuff like that, so then you're knocking out people's dads and things. So
you know what little RayRoc was doing when all that shit was going on in high school? He's all by himself smoking with his buddy. I ain't getting in no fight with 30 people. I don't need that shit in my life. I'm telling you, I've been the same way my whole life. I'm just a peaceful being. You throw a punch at me, I'm going to fuck you up, but not to act tough. But dude, I'm not afraid to walk away from a fight or be the bigger person or if you want to call it a pussy or whatever, because I really don't care. I don't feel like getting in a fight. I don't have the time or energy for that shit.
Yeah, and just fighting today is just ridiculous.
It really is. I mean, come on, man. I'm almost 40 years old. As if I need that shit. I didn't need it when I was 18 or 15. I don't need it now. I don't need it ever.
Hell, I at the Legion locally. You guys know what Legion is. I'm
fucking thirsty, man.
I think the youth today need to spend less time fighting and more time fucking.
That's what I did.
Yeah, that was the way forward. It was the way up.
Hey,
I'm not gonna lie. In like grade 12, I was pimping hard.
oh my god!
I was going from girl to girl, man. It was like man. Grade 12 was like so fun for me. I think I had like 5 or 6 girlfriends at that year.
At the same time?
No, not at the same time, but yeah, I did juggle a couple of girls while I was dating one. So.
You insane?
I know it was bad. It was bad, but like it was just when I was like done seeing this girl kind of thing. So it was like
on to the next.
Yeah, it's like on to the next one kind of thing. So it was I was a hardcore.
Cool.
I wasn't like that. I was never like that. But
exactly. Indigo, yes. You see where I'm coming from. It's just pointless.
See, Coop, you're dropping yourself in shit now because you've just basically said you were a player, but then you've just told us a story about how you'd convinced this guy that you didn't do nothing with his girlfriend.
See, that was in grade 10, I think, with that story. Grade 12 was different.
You did it. You did it.
No, I think I was just too kind, and a lot of girls like. There was just one girl that was just absolutely insane and just like made
just
all
one?
this. What's that?
I said just one.
No, well, one individual for sure. She just was making up all these lies about all these like. It's like she would be. I would be sitting. I'd be friends with her brother because her brother was older, and we would be watching wrestling. So, but then when I'd come over to the house, she would call like her boyfriend up and say like I'm trying to hit on her and shit like that while I'm sitting downstairs.
Oh, an instigator.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. It's just one of those instigator girls. So yeah, there are girls that I've had encounters with like that. So, but I'm a pimp. What can I say?
Well, Indigo dubbed you a player in caps locks. You're a player.
If you would like to support the Morning Glory podcast, make sure to go check out patreon.com/Coop the Comedian for behind-the-scenes exclusive content. You can also check out all my stand-up comedy on Patreon as well as Taste the Strain episodes. Patreon.com/Coop the Comedian.